morning, and welcome to today's 5-minute meditation. Let's all just find a spot where we can become still. Maybe for you, that is seated on a really comfortable spot in a quiet place in your home. Maybe it's standing at a kitchen counter. Maybe it's seated in your car before you start off with the busyness of the day. But wherever you are, I would encourage you to gently close your eyes and just find stillness for these few minutes. Let's start to settle in together with just a few long, deep breaths in and full breaths out. Deep breath in and full breath out. One more like that. Deep breath in and full breath out. And as you settle into just those few breaths, notice how quickly the body begins to regulate. It's not perfect. It's not always a guarantee that everything will work the way that we want it to work, but it is a pathway toward stillness. It is a pathway toward peace. And so if we can remind ourselves to not be so worried about the result of our stillness and our quiet time, but just realize we're opening the door to a pathway, the next steps will come. We won't even have to try very hard. They will just come. One slow, deep breath in at a time, and a commitment to stillness. And so for these few minutes that we have this morning, I'd like to visit the idea or the concept of habits. I've been thinking and studying a lot about the patterns in our lives, the habits that we all have, and there's a quote that says that once you recognize that habits can change, you have the freedom, but you also have the responsibility to begin to change them. And so I'd like for us just to think, what habits do I have that are serving me really well? You're doing one of them right now. The habit of pausing, of finding stillness, of listening to some words that can really focus your mind and calm your heart. That is an example of the kind of habit we want to nurture and develop and affirm ourselves for. And so in this moment, just feel this sense of affirmation welling up deep inside of you, knowing that this habit, this pattern, is one that will truly usher you in to the purpose that you're designed to live. But then on the other side of the coin, all of us have patterns and habits that don't serve us well. Patterns and habits that need to be evaluated for their effectiveness, their impact in our lives. And so what I would encourage each of us to do, me included, is for this next moment, just without really ticking off a list or forcing ourselves to think of something, just ask the question again and again, what habits have I been hanging on to that do not serve my purpose? And in fact, are a barrier to my growth and my development? Just keep asking the question, which habits in my life no longer serve my purpose? They don't serve and support this place in life where I am and for sure where I want to be. Again, just keep asking the question, which habits are no longer serving my purpose? Which habits are getting in the way of my growth and my development? And we don't really use our meditation time to answer those questions. We come to a place of presence, of stillness, and we ask ourselves some deep, important questions. And so let's let that be our question for today. Let's sit with it. Let's commit to asking it again. And later today, asking it one more time. Which habits are no longer serving my purpose, and which habits are getting in the way of my growth and development? And as we continue to ask the questions, we are taught that answers will begin to reveal themselves. I don't know in what way for each of us. I don't know the timeline. But I do know from my own experience that as I'm open to constantly asking myself those deep, important questions, answers come. Thoughts shift and pathways become clear. So here's to today, step 1 toward a clearer pathway for living. Namaste.